It's the story of Blessed Mary of the Passion. Here, Blessed Mary, or you can say her name is Mary Grace, had made a vow at 5 years of age, the vow of virginity, and then that she would not get married to anybody. But her father forced her to get married to a young man. So she felt lost and she was like, I don't want to get married. So she prayed to Our Lady, Mother Mary, and she said, No, Mother Mary, I don't want to get married. So Our Lady appeared to her and she said, Say yes, and then you will become a nun. She was a little confused, but then she did as she was told. On the day of the wedding, just before they got married, the young man was found, means the other relatives found out that the young man who Mary Grace was supposed to get married to was sick and he had a late stage of tuberculosis. Although Mary didn't get married to him, she did remain by his side and taught him about catechism and religious things. But he unfortunately died within 8 months of about his relatives finding out about his illness. She after her husband died, she joined the Soiree Crucifix. She joined the nuns, and then one day when the priest was distributing communion during a holy mass, a host escaped from the priest's hand and flew into Mary's lips. Out of love for the Lord and for sinners, she constantly inflicted penances on herself. She also had the gift of bilocation, meaning that she could be at 2 different places in one time. During the last 15 days of her life, she only survived through communion and means the host. Mary was so devoted to Mother Mary and Jesus that the devil himself came and he tormented her, and even in one instance the devil broke her arm.
So this is a Eucharistic miracle that happened in Tixtla, Mexico, October 21st, 2006. Now, why this miracle is so special here? Because this miracle is the most recent miracle that took place among all the miracles. And it makes it even more special because Blessed Carlo Acutis, who's soon going to be canonized, he passed away just 10 days before this miracle took place. Okay, so I'll give you an overview of what happened during this miracle. Okay, so during the Eucharistic celebration, the priests and the nuns came below the altar to give communion. Okay, now as this nun was about to give communion, she saw a reddish substance that appeared on the host. Okay, there was some reddish color that appeared on the host. You can see the real life photo here. Okay, now she didn't know what was that, and she was surprised and she was filled with tears. So immediately she took this host and she showed it to the priest. And then after the mass, the priest went and gave it to the bishop. And then the bishop went on to conduct these forensic medical studies and all about what this reddish substance could be. Okay, this is now the overview of the whole scene that happened. Now I'll take you to what was the medical study that they conducted. Okay, so if you could come this side. Okay, now as you see, the first study that they conducted, and they concluded that whatever this reddish substance, it had hemoglobin inside itself and it had DNA. Okay, now what has hemoglobin and DNA? Blood, and blood of human origin. Okay, now that concluded that this is blood of some person. Okay, now the second study was that this blood, it came from the interior of the host and not from the exterior. Otherwise anyone could fake that, like some reddish substance
on someone's finger.
Yeah, or drop, like something could have fallen from top, or some bacteria could have covered it with red, or like someone could have applied it from red something just to show something. But when they conducted these medical studies, it showed that the cellular structure, the layer of the blood, it emerged from within the host and it spread externally over the host. Okay, if anything would have been applied, it would have been applied from top and it would have spread around. Okay, but it showed that it came from within the host. So it was proved that no one could put something above it. It came from interior. Okay, this was the second study that they conducted. And the third study that they concluded that this blood type was AB. Okay, Now, if you look through all the miracles, Eucharistic miracles that have taken place all around the world, this AB blood type is found everywhere. So it is found in the Shroud of Turin, which is another miracle. It is found in Lanciano. So what this concludes that this is of some person, like a single person. Okay, it's common stated fact. Okay, and then if you analyze this tissue, which had the blood type AB, this tissue was found to be of a cardiac muscle, the heart. Okay, and normally this cardiac tissue, it dies within 48 hours if it is removed from the body.
Yes.
Okay, but this tissue, it was alive for the next 3 months. That is another miracle in itself. Okay, and they conducted this study from 2006 to 2010, and this blood tissue was fresh for the entire 4 years. Otherwise, normally blood becomes dark brown or dark red, but this blood remained fresh for 4 years. This is another miracle in itself. Okay?
So, I think what struck me the most is,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong,
If you want to say it on the speaker, then you can.
it's okay. I mean, this is just like this is my point of view. If I'm not wrong, blood AB, AB is usually universal acceptance, right?
Yeah. So you can relate.
Yes,
to what
I can
that means.
relate,
If
yes.
you would like to share what that, we'll share after that. Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, yeah. We'll share after this thing. So I'll just finish this and you can share. So when they again conducted another study, they found that it had white blood cells, red blood cells, and they tested the human DNA. So you know that in DNA there are genes and all.
Yes.
So what was found out that this DNA, it had the female chromosome, but it didn't have the male chromosome. So what it clearly states that Jesus did not have an earthly father, but was immaculately conceived by the Holy Spirit.
Also, it is not possible for anybody to, for any human chromosome to have just a mother's DNA, right? Sorry, what you said.
Yeah.
They should have for both the parents. Only a mother will not just. But this is the only one person in the world.
So this is like supernatural and miraculous in itself.
Exactly.
So all these are like real scientific facts. Like nothing, no one can ever state that we are faking things or something. And it is not just here, it is in all the miracles that has taken place. So there are so many miraculous evidences that have taken place that shows that Jesus is present in the Holy Eucharist. Like each and every Eucharist we attend, Jesus is not someone who was there 2000 years ago. He's there in each Eucharist, and his flesh is alive. When it comes in our body, it's alive, and it states that Jesus did not die at that time. He continues living his life in our bodies.
Yes.
So this miracle is like supernatural also, and it is scientifically proven also. So like no one can like say that it's all fake and all.
Yes.
So if you would like to share about that, anything about your experience.
No, I mean the more scientific facts we go to research in any Eucharistic miracles or in any miracles, I mean the evidences what we will get. It might be infinite number of evidences that we will get. Like just in a short miracle, you explain so many evidences. But the main thing is like how many evidences do I accept? How many evidences does it take for me to accept? And maybe till that time, maybe if you give me even 100 evidences and I don't accept that way. So it's like Christ is always waiting for you, no matter whatever you tell him, no matter how much ever he proves that I'm still there, I still love you and all. It all depends on the time that you accept him and you feel his presence.
And it's all through these experiences that our faith increases.
Exactly.
And we can spread this all to everyone present through our.
Yes.
So anything you would like to share about all the miracles or any experience that touched you in your life about the Eucharist?
Say it now.
Yeah, you can say.
No, it was just like I've been for a retreat just few days before, and I happened to just like I just happened to attend a mass with its actual meaning. And you don't have to go anywhere. You just need to focus and concentrate on every word right from the beginning, whatever the priest says, and just imagine and reflect it. And at the time of elevation, I imagined myself at the foot of the cross. When you imagine yourself at the foot of the cross, now depends how your imagination is. I imagined myself with Mary and with John, his disciple, and I imagined blood dripping from the foot of the cross. I really imagined that scene that you were there. I was imagined that, and that moment I cried. And then when I went for communion, the communion, the host was dipped in the wine and it was given to me. So by the time I walked back to my place and I knelt down and I prayed, and I found that the host had melted on my mouth, but I felt like as though I'm swallowing flesh that way. And that really, like from that moment on, I couldn't stop my tears, because I really knew that inside that was Jesus, what came in me. So I don't have to give any proof for that. That is about.
That is your faith, and faith says it all. Thank you so much for explaining and being. Okay, you were going to explain to us what this universal receiver means. So you told AB is universal receiver.
Yeah, actually, if I'm not wrong, now what I just checked on the internet about the blood group AB. So AB is usually a universal recipient.
Yeah.
So why it's a universal recipient is because anybody with A blood group, anyone who has an AB, I have an AB blood group. Okay. So which means in an accident, I can accept blood from a person who has an A blood group or a B blood group, because I have both A and B. And O blood group, it doesn't affect AB, so I can receive even from O. So which means now in the entire world there are only these three blood groups: A, B, AB, and O. So I'm sorry, that became I think four. Okay, but only these. So AB, anybody with an AB blood group can receive from all. So which means I think when Christ came here, he says that I am here for everybody, not just for the Christians.
Yeah.
I am here for everyone, and those who follow me will become Christians. Okay, and those who are not following me, I've come even for them.
Yeah.
It's not just for one group of people. So that is what I found, and yeah, I think the internet helped me to find this. Okay, and some.
Thanks, Joel, for explaining about the AB. Like, it meant a lot that Jesus died on the cross not only for Christians but for the entire world.
Correct.
Okay, I have one more question for you. Now, you know Carlo Acutis, the first millennial saint. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if you would become a saint, which type of saint would you like to be?
I think this is a perfect question. So today is tomorrow. Carlo Acutis will be canonized as a saint.
Yeah.
And through his intercession, I only ask that maybe make me as humble as possible. Not maybe don't make me so holy like Jesus or like him, but enough to enter the gates of heaven and just sit maybe even right at the last bench in heaven. Bas, just this much.
You want to be humble and pure.
Yes, just as much, just as humble as itna nahi bhai, jitna ho sakta hai mere se utna.
That's a great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Are you all aware of this miracle of Guadalupe? No? It will be my honor to tell you all about this wonderful miracle that took place in Mexico. Okay? So first, let us try to understand the history of Mexico. In Mexico, the Aztec religion was quite prominent. You all must have seen the different pyramids that they have over there. And they used to engage themselves in very absurd practices like, human sacrifices, child sacrifices, etc., etc. They worship the moon, the sun, the stars, etc. This miracle managed to convert the entirety of Mexico. So we'll see how this happened, okay? So the priests that were there, who came from Europe to convert the Mexicans, could not effectively communicate with them what Christianity is all about. And as a result, they managed to make very few converts over there. One of whom was this man, Juan Diego by name. He was a local farmer who also served as a sacristan in the local church. Now, what happened was, Mother Mary used to meet him regularly on a mountain called Tapia. And he never said this to anyone, okay? Until a certain point. He never told this to anyone. He used to see her, they used to pray and leave. One day, his uncle got very sick and he wanted to go and meet his uncle. But then Mary met him on the way, told him, "Don't go to meet your uncle. I'll take care of him. You rather come to Mount Tapeyag and we'll meet over there again." Even if I would have been in his place, I would have not listened to Mary, to be honest. My uncle is sick, he is on his deathbed, I would have gone over there. But Juan Diego was a very simple man and he could not refuse Mary. So he accepted. He went back and went to the mountain Tapia. There, Mother Mary met him, and Mother Mary told him, tell the bishop to build a shrine or a church over here in this place in my honor. Juan Diego said, I will tell the bishop. As proof, Mary told him to pick up some flowers. Now, the flowers that he picked up were not native to Mexico. Moreover, they were sprouting in the winter season. So the flowers that he picked up do not usually sprout in the winter season. So this is a miracle that he was not aware of. Okay, he took the flowers in his outer garment called a tilma. He wrapped it and he went to tell the bishop. Now, as he went over there to tell the bishop said, you are a lay person, you are an ordinary man, that you are Mexican. What do you know about Mary? He opened up his tilma to reveal the flowers. But more than seeing the flowers and being astonished on that, the bishop was much astonished on seeing this image that is right in front of you. Much later, about, you can easily say about 450 years later, a lot of research had been done on it. And a microscopic image of Mary's eye was revealed. These are all the people that were present at that time when the image of Mary came up. So this is the bishop who kneels in front of Juan Diego to beg for forgiveness from Mary. Okay? This, they did not know it at that time. This came in much later. Secondly, you may ask, how does this image manage to convert Mexico that was not yet converting? We'll try to figure out this. Okay? First, if you can look carefully, the skin color of Mary, it greatly resembles the skin color of the Mexican people, which is very much close to, Indians as well. And then, if you see the outer garment of Mary, the color of it represents royalty. So the Mexicans understood that this woman is a royal woman. Third, she covers her head. Mexicans also understood that she is a virgin, that is, she is not yet married and has had no relations as of yet. Three things: she is a Mexican, she is a queen, and she is a virgin. But then third, the belt. Can somebody read this for me?
The Madonna appeared in colorful dressed in a gown fastened at the waist with a black belt, identical to that worn by the locals women during pregnancy.
Okay, so the black belt that she wears represents that she is pregnant, which makes no sense if you see, that she is a virgin. Now, the Mexicans understood that she is royalty and all of such things, but there is something way more than that. Well, remember I told Mexicans worship the sun and the moon? Mary in this image stands on top of the moon and she covers the sun. The sun is behind her, right? She stands in front of the sun. Now, anyone who is in his mind will question me that Mary is leading them to herself. Or you might say that Mary is presenting herself as the end goal and she is not presenting them to Christ, something like that. Can you all see these dots over here? In the original image, these are stars, okay? And this represents the constellation of Leo. Leo meaning lion. Now, the Mexicans who are very great in astronomy, they used to understand the movement of the stars. They understood that this is the constellation of Leo. Interestingly, the head of the lion is missing. The entire body is present in the stars, but the head of the lion points to this place. So the Mexicans understand that this queen, who is much greater than their gods, is bearing someone who is much greater than she is. She is bearing a lion, the Lion of Judah, who is Jesus. Now this tilma is made out of cactus fiber. My shirt, if I keep it out somewhere, maybe after 30 years or so, it will rot away. The tilma made out of cactus fiber, not at all processed, was expected, to degrade in about 50 years max. Even if you go to Mexico right now, today, or anywhere, much later in your life, you will still see this tilma present in pristine condition. Many experimentations have been done on it. One person even accidentally spilled a chemical. Nothing happened to it. There was a bomb blast that took place in the church where it was kept. The cross that was present absorbed all the shock from that, rendering no harm to this image. So this is the miracle of Guadalupe that managed to convert the entirety of Mexico. And if you're worried about that uncle, he turned out to be well. Thank you.